Because didn't you live at a theme park for a while or like something weird like that?
Yeah, so I actually moved away from home when I was just almost 16 years old. So I went and worked a ranch for my room and board, and I lived in the barn. So I took care of, there was an Arabian horse ranch. I had about 30 Arabians, and we were on 300 acres, but it was in an old rundown Santa's Village in Northern California.
Which is hilarious.
So, oddly enough, my parents dropped me off at this place, and I think my mom just started crying when we pulled up. She didn't ever stop until she got all the way back down to L.A. because it was a 1800s tree in the middle of the barn scenario, and I was out. We were kind of in the breezeway between the barn and the house. No heat, nothing. I froze my ass off up there, and the lady that we were living with was a bit batshit crazy. So
You're kidding. She let a 15-year-old run away live in her abandoned barn? Seems like a sane decision.
It was a friend of mine's mom, and we were living with her, and she I don't know what her story was, but my guess is she was hopped up on some medications or something. Like, she used to call us at 3 o'clock in the morning, make us go feed the cats, and just stupid stuff. I'm trying to go to high school, And so I graduated in 91, so I was probably riding bikes in the 80s, kind of early 80s, and then kind of that time frame. It was nuts. So I didn't go to school a whole lot. So
yeah, I feel like you're one of the prime examples of someone who's really found a wonderful, happy, fulfilled life without having to go, $90,000 into debt at college.
Yeah, I actually kind of a little bit of a crazy. I came back from Northern California and went to school. I was on full work experience. So I went and opened up, I sold car stereos right outside of Compton. And which is a weird thing to do, but I actually would go to school for an hour a day, and then I would go open up the car stereo store. So I would go inside and I would sell the goods, and then I'd kind of throw my tie over the top, and then I'd go install it. So I made killer money back then.
Bet.
But the schooling situation, I ended up having to go to an alternative high school to take care of being able to go to work full time. So yeah, I feel like I was very, very lucky to be able to get to where I'm at today based on the stupid crap I did as a kid. But, it was just learning how to use your sales skills and to get to where you need to get to. So I'm a pretty determined person, whether it's on a bicycle or doing woodworking.
The Foster clan in general.
They're pretty determined people. So yeah, not a whole lot can stop us. No. So when we set our minds. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
So was it just school? You just knew school wasn't for you, or what made you decide, like, I need to go live in Northern California and then I need to go move to Compton?
Well, my parents moved to the L.A. area, and then when I was in middle school, they got divorced. So when that happened, I said, bye, I'm out of here. I didn't want to be in the midst of that. So I said, okay, I'm going to go move up to Northern California while you guys hash out all this stuff. And luckily they could let me go, and it was a good learning experience. You learn how to work hard in a farm. And an Arabian horse, it's a hell of a lot of work.
Oh, and they're terrible horses as far as, like,
very,
finicky.
very spirited.
Finicky.
Yeah, and quite pissy.
Yeah. I had one for a while, and it was my sister's, but as most things happened in the Malcolm family, I ended up taking care of it.
Yeah. Yeah, so, when I went up there, I did that for a while, and then we used to kind of go. My buddy that I was living with up there was really into car stereos, so we were ripping his car apart and doing a bunch of stuff and doing some real kind of ghetto fab stuff, duct tape and stupid wire loom stuff. And I said, you know what, I want to actually learn how to do this. So when I went back to L.A., I went to work and got a job as an apprentice in the shop. Swept up the floors for 6 months or so, and started kind of working on my own car. And the owner saw that I could actually do some stuff, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come out in the installation bay and start working?" And I took to it like super fast, just very, very creative. I ended up being the guy that that completely modded the car. So I'd build the speaker boxes, I'd build the amp racks, I'd do all the high-end wiring and everything, and I just picked it up super fast. It's in the blood. My dad did that kind of stuff too growing up, so I had just been around that kind of life for a while. So got the job. I was managing a car stereo shop right outside of Compton when I was, how old was I? I don't even think I was 18. So I had the shop was mine. They just basically gave me the keys and said, run it. So I'd go and like I said, I'd sell it. Then I'd go outside and install it. And we were there was a four store scenario, and we were the number 2 store. It was me and one other guy. Yeah. So, and we were kind of killing it. It was kind of a neat thing.
I'm not surprised at all by the story.
Yeah.